What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today we're going to be redesigning some new AFL Guernseys. I've done this sort of video before in the past, but this time around it's going to be a little bit different. I've downloaded a mock-up template which is going to make the Guernseys look a lot better. They're going to look a lot more realistic than the ones that I've made in the past. I've obviously done a few of these videos in the past, so the links will be down in the description if you do want to see it. If you are watching this video on the Premiere, feel free to rate the Guernseys out of 10 in the chat. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first Guernsey that we obviously have here is the Adelaide Crows Guernsey. Now, obviously, as you can see, the Guernsey is gold, primarily just like the one that they have currently, the away Guernsey. Now, I've added the crow that they used on their Guernseys back in the early 2000s. I think that looks pretty nice. I think this is a clean Guernsey and probably the best Adelaide Guernsey that I've made, I'd argue. Obviously, it does look a lot more realistic than the other ones that I've made, but it's still, I think, probably the best design. Now, next up, we have the Brisbane Lions. Now, I don't mind this one. Probably not the best out there. It's a little bit controversial, I guess you could say. This isn't something you would probably see from a Lions Guernsey, although it is something that I was inspired by that 2007 to 2008 away Guernsey. I'm pretty sure they had a white Guernsey. This one's gold like the Adelaide one. I've decided to add the line from the right side of the Guernsey, and I reckon the blue outline makes it stand out a lot more. Yeah, I think it's alright. It works well. Not the worst. Now, the next Guernsey we've got is Carlton. Now, obviously, Carlton's notorious for, you know, bland, boring Guernseys. Just only so much you can do with a Carlton Guernsey without trying to ruin its tradition, I guess you could say, and without making it look like rubbish. Obviously, this is quite a simple Guernsey, but I think it looks better than the current Guernsey, if I'm being completely honest. It's a normal Carlton Guernsey, and I've added a white and light blue stripe on the background. And it sort of looks like the effect of the stripes. It looks a little bit like a paper tear, like the jumper's been ripped apart. Not too bad. Don't mind it. And next up, we have Collingwood. I reckon this is a hit or miss. Like, either some will love it, some will hate it, and it's probably because of the grey. Like, I could have just made it white, but I've gone for something a little bit different. I think this Guernsey definitely works alright. We've got only the 2 stripes. We got the 3, actually. One small one in the middle, and obviously just a magpie in the centre of the Guernsey. Probably won't be used as a home or away, but something like a pre-season Guernsey or even a training Guernsey might be alright. Next up, we've got the Essendon Guernsey. I like this one. I really do like this one. I sent this one to Sammy GFC, a fellow Essendon supporter, and he actually thought it was a legit Guernsey, and he thought it was a really good one. So if he likes it and thought it was legit, then I think you guys probably wouldn't mind it either. I decided, you know what, let's scrap the sash. There's no sash on this Guernsey. I've used their old logo because I'm not using their new Essendon logo. Like, it's gonna look like a piece of rubbish if I did that. To make it stand out a little bit more, I've gone with black for the collars and cuffs. So, yeah, I think this is a very nice Guernsey. Now, Freo. I've notoriously made really poor Guernseys for Freo fans. So, hopefully this Guernsey redeemed itself a little bit for the Freo fans. I think this one is quite nice. Obviously, this is inspired by the 1998 to 2000 anchor, the 3D anchor they used for their away Guernsey. I've decided to use that. I've got the top bit purple and the bottom half in green. You know, the Dockers haven't used green in, I don't know when the last time they used green for a Guernsey was. I don't mind this design. Probably not the best of the lot, but I think it's definitely the best Freo Guernsey I've made, or one of the best I've made in the past. Next up, we've got Geelong. Now this, I've just scrapped the white. I've gone, you know what? Let's have blue on blue. Light blue on dark blue. Is it bad? Is it good? I actually think it's a nice Guernsey. And this could be a really cool design to use if they're, let's just say, they're playing North Melbourne or Collingwood, where there's a little bit of a jumper clash, considering that the Cats, obviously their home Guernsey's white. They can just play all their games in a white kit. But definitely the white outlines on the light blue stripes make this Guernsey stand out a lot. And I think it's a pretty nice design. And next up, we've got Gold Coast. Gold Coast was a really tough one for me. I spent a long time struggling to, you know, really just find any ideas, like what was going to work for Gold Coast. I've had many of ideas in the past, but I've gone for this nice white design. I think white, if I'm going to be completely honest, looks the best as for their away Guernsey. I think it's a little bit better than the blue. Obviously, the Gold Coast sun in the middle. Then I've separated each bit of the Guernsey, gold on the left, red on the right, and it's fading into the white after as it hits the Gold Coast logo. I've got blue as the collars and the cuffs. I actually think this is a really nice Guernsey now that I'm looking back on it. Very slick, very stylish, and probably one of my better ones if I'm going to be completely honest. The next Guernsey we do have is the Giant. Now, a little bit basic. We've sort of seen this one before. Obviously, the white on the top of the G. Then we've got charcoal or whatever color they use on the bottom half. It's all right. Nothing too special, but it works all right. The next Guernsey we've got is Hawthorn. I reckon this is probably top 3. How cool does this Guernsey look? I mean, it looks really, really nice. We've got, obviously, the hawk coming out of the Guernsey. They've had that design before, I think, in an away Guernsey in the past. Then we've also got, obviously, brown around the Guernsey in itself. Just makes it stand out a whole lot more. And we've got a couple of stripes down the middle. I've lowered down the opacity, so it doesn't really make the Guernsey very crowded at all. I think this is up there with, as I said earlier, one of the best Guernseys. I mean, look at it. If this was what Hawthorn decided to roll out for their away Guernsey, I reckon he'd get a lot of sales. Next up, we've got the Melbourne Demons Guernsey. Now, obviously, they won the premiership in 2021, so obviously we've got to roll out the gold AFL logo. All premiers have the gold AFL logo, and continuing with the gold, I've decided to replace the red V with gold. Does that look good? Is it a hit? It might be hit or miss. It might not look as good as what I thought it was going to look at the start. I guess let me know, Demons fans, what do you rate this? I don't think it's too bad, but it is quite basic. Next Guernsey we have is North Melbourne. I don't mind this one. Obviously, I couldn't go past using the Bouncing Kangaroo, which North have used numerous amount of times, which is still probably their best Guernsey they've ever used to date. Instead of going for the thin stripes, I've gone for 2 blue stripes on either side of the Guernsey. The middle is white, fading into grey. It is a very clean Guernsey, and it is not bad. Probably one of my favourite ones. Now, Port Adelaide we have next. Port Adelaide is a strange one because there are so many Guernseys, I guess there are so many different designs you could really do with Port Adelaide. You got a lot to work with. The Power haven't really used a lightning bolt, I'm pretty sure, on their Guernseys since around, I think 2003 was the last time they had something similar to this. We've got the teal lightning bolt. Obviously, the jumper in itself is black, and on the bottom half of the lightning bolt, separating the top half, we have the prison bars. It's been a debate. This could solve the prison bar debacle. I mean, have the prison bars on the bottom different enough to separate from Collingwood. So yeah, it's not bad. Now, next Guernsey we've got is the Richmond Guernsey. This is lovely. I think this is up there with one of the better ones. I mean, it just looks so cool. We've got stripes coming out of the top of the Guernsey and the bottom, black and yellow, and the middle of it's grey. Obviously, I don't think this would be a home or away Guernsey. I think either a clash or a pre-season Guernsey would work best for this one. And you obviously got the tiger, but not just the head of the tiger. You've got the sort of the body. You get to see more of the tiger in this one. But I think this is very nice. I think this is one of the better ones. And the next Guernsey we have is the Saint. It's another one that I like a lot. I use the cross design like I have a couple of times for these Guernsey redesigns. I think it probably looks the coolest out of all Saints Guernseys. But I haven't seen one with black. We've seen a red one, which they used for their home Guernsey back in the days. We saw a white one, which we used as an away Guernsey not long ago. But we've got a black one, and it's all black with a white cross. We've got red cuffs, and then we've got red coming off the side panels. I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's one of the better ones. It's clean. It's just very clean. Even though it's primarily black, we could potentially have the back of the Guernsey in red, and that would work as a clash Guernsey, which yeah, would be pretty nice. Next Guernsey we have is Sydney. A little bit tough for Sydney. I was struggling to, find ideas for the Swans. I was going through a lot of different forums to look for potential design ideas. I've gone for this one, which is a little bit similar to something I used in another Guernsey redesign. I've added the swan. I've gotten rid of some of the outlines on the swan, so it's just sort of the swan itself. I plonked it onto a red Guernsey. The cuffs and collars are white. The back of this Guernsey would be white. I don't mind it. It's not the best, but I don't mind it. I probably could have done a better job of cutting out the swan. As you can see, there are a few bumps in there, but it's not too bad. And next up, we've got West Coast. This is up there. It's unique. It's different. something that you don't see with West Coast very often. You don't really see many gradients. The only real gradient that I've seen for a West Coast Guernsey would probably have to be the infamous Guernsey they used back in, I think 2001, the away Guernsey. Obviously, the top bit is gold and it fades into the blue. And I love the tone of the blue that the Eagles do use for their Guernseys. The side panels are in blue as well, just to make it stand out, just so people know that this is a Guernsey that would probably be a home one, because considering that their home Guernseys are in blue, or even a clash, potentially a clash. They could use this as a clash as well. Yeah, I think it's just very clean. And last but not least, we've got the Western Bulldog. Another one that I was struggling to find too many ideas for, but I think overall it works quite well. I've got heavy stripes, heavy red and white stripes that have a nice effect to it. I found this brush on Photoshop, which I decided to use. It creates a cool effect on the stripes. It sort of looks like the stripes just been splattered on the Guernsey. Obviously the white on the bottom, red at the top, and they're both diagonal. And then obviously I just decided add the Bulldog on the right, because the Bulldog just makes it look a little bit better. And red collar and cuffs, because I feel like that makes the Guernsey stand out a little bit more. But those were it. There you go. Those were the Guernseys for this video. I think out of all of the videos I've done for the Guernseys, this is the best batch. But you can disagree. Feel free to disagree. If you thought that the Guernseys in this video weren't as good as some in another video, let me know. If you're watching this in the premiere, chuck it a like, because I will not be doing another one of these videos unless we get 700 likes. That's the goal. That is the goal. 700 likes. I'll say it here. If you want to see a part 5, which will come out early next year, then let me know. And yeah, obviously comment down your favorite Guernsey in this video, and imagine we could see a few of these Guernseys rolling out in 2022. Would be pretty sick, and we'll see you soon in my next video. Cheers.